morning and welcome everyone to the roundtable organized by the Spanish Chamber of Commerce. My name is Elena Perez, head of the entrepreneurship program at Madrid Chamber of Commerce. And today I will be in charge in uncover one or two insights from our guests as we explore one of the critical aspects for startups, that is finding the perfect combination, alignment between product and market. But before that, I see that a lot of people, please. Before we begin, I would like to tell you why we are gathered here today. We are 30 Chambers of Commerce across the country, led by the Spanish. ¿No? ¿Un poquito más? Un poquito más. Me dicen un poquito más de audio. ¿Sí? Yes? Now? Yes, better. Better, okay. We are 30 Chamber of Commerce across the country, led by the Spanish Chamber of Commerce, that we are working on supporting startups. We do this through our program called Impulsa Startups. This program aims to support startups in the creation and growth. We do this with various initiatives such as mentorship, training. This better? Better? Okay, I change. We do this with mentorship, business assessment, and mainly networking opportunities with large companies. We know you like that. So, locally, at Madrid Chamber of Commerce, we already kick off our incubation program, and in September, we launch our acceleration program. Additionally, we support startups and companies in the internationalization and expansion efforts. If you want to know more, please go to our website, camaramadrid.es. That said, let's dive in and make the most of our time together. To talk about this important subject, that is product market fit, we have here three important persons, that is Karel Escobar, CEO and co-founder of BackFund.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Thank you.
We have here Raúl Estrada, Kiota, CEO of Kiota, and Jessica Lely from 360 Climate Change Solution. Please, an applause for them. Thank you. Just to begin, I would like you to introduce yourself very briefly and your company.
Okay, so thank you very much for the invitation. Thank you very much, Chamber of Commerce. Welcome, everyone. My name is Karel Escobar. I am the CEO of BackFund. In a nutshell, BackFund is a pre-seed investment vehicle. We invest in startups, most of the cases, pre-product market fit, meaning that sometimes it's just an idea or a PowerPoint. And we also collaborate with several corporations in their open innovation initiatives, trying to merge the technology of the startups and the needs of the corporations.
Thank you. Raúl.
Thank you, Elena. Thank you, everybody. I'm Raúl. I'm the CEO of Kiota. And at a very fundamental level, our vision is to try to enable any entrepreneur, anywhere they are, to access capital from any investors in the world. So for that, we develop a suite of software. We develop different software products to enable that.
Thank you. Jessica.
Well, first of all, thank you for the invitation. I'm Jessica Lely. I'm the head of the sustainability department in 360 Soluciones Cambio Climático. We are an environmental engineering and consultancy company, and we offer different services in sustainability department, engineering department. And today we're here because we developed an innovative product, which is Biocomatter, which is a mortar without cement and sand, based on agro-industrial waste.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, we start with the first round of questions. That's for you, Karel. You said that BackFund, you support startups in training and business assessment also. And what steps do entrepreneurs need to take to achieve a product market fit?
Yeah, that's a very interesting question. Some startups have different stages in terms of product market fit. B2B could mean sign several agreements with corporates or with big clients in the same industry. It doesn't mean that you have like the approval to go to market. That is sometimes the kind of the permission of the government for health startups, defense startups, some deep tech, or some startups that need a patent to go to the market. That could be a sign. But answering your question, for me, is to have like a clear roadmap of the next 12 months. What do you want to achieve in the next 12 months? And how do you think it could be the wow moment when you know that you have achieved something? That is kind of that could be a marketing strategy that went very well. That could be sign few contracts. That could be to have a patent. That could be to bring on board several customers at the same in a very short period of time. Could be several different things, but it should be part of the roadmap that you have for the next 12 to 18 months.
Are you listening? Yeah. Thank you. And Jessica, listening to Karel, for example, you are a small startup. I think it's a big process to find product market fits. What investment has been necessary to make to find this product market fit?
Well, as you said, for a small SME, it's kind of hard to innovate, but it can be challenging, but also very rewarding. And the idea of Biocomatter was born during a waste valorization project, and we noticed that the product actually had a lot of potential impact, especially in the construction sector, where sustainability is becoming kind of key. So from the beginning, we knew that securing the investment, the external investment, was key, and we decided to opt for public funds. So we started with the product validation. We started with an Horizon 2020 project. It was called Meta Building. During the project, we validated the product, but both in the lab and in real environments. And thanks to the Meta Building and the network it created, it gave us kind of the first, the momentum to start going on with the project. Then there was the market studies. So we counted with different accelerator program and mentorships. And we did the market research. We established our target market, the value proposition. And thanks to this, not only financial help, but also guidance, we made a lot of connections in the industry that were fundamental. And for example, right now we've been receiving mentorship from Oxentia Foundation, which is a spin-out of Oxford University, that is helping us reach into the European market. And then the other investment moment was the intellectual property. As you know, in innovation, it's fundamental to protect your patent, but it's also a huge investment. And in this case, we received help from the Comunidad Autónoma de Extremadura with a program that was for the internationalization of SMEs from Extremadura. And then the final one, which might seem like not so essential an investment, but in terms of money and time, it's really important to participate to these kind of events and these fairs, because you never know when or where you're going to make the right connections. For example, for us, the South Summit last year was a crucial point. So it might not seem like a huge investment,
you can say why?
It's really important.
You can say why?
Well, we made some very important connections that made Biocomatter what it is right now. Yeah.
Thank you.
So we kind of leveraged all the help that we could get from public funds.
Thanks. Raul, in your case, you develop a platform that support companies and organizations to manage the creation of new companies and startups. So in your case, when you were working on product market fit, what was your value proposition? How many times it changed, if it changed?
Well, as I said during the introduction, our purpose was or is to make the flow of resources more efficient and faster, right? But there is a problem. When you are pre-market fit, it's extremely hard to convince an investor that you are a worthwhile project, right? What can you show? That's really difficult. Investors have the same problem. I mean, it's really hard to analyze, to assess a company that still doesn't have the same metrics as others, right? So if you put that together with a very significant problem is, if you are a pre-market fit company and you lose your CTO or you lose a very strong partnership, you have a problem. In formal terms, that's the
big one.
a very big problem. Yeah, that's the liability of newness, right? But if you are post-market fit, that goes away. So our value proposition from the beginning was to enable investors to access metrics that to which they don't have access otherwise. And that includes more efficient processes, metrics about the founding team, which is pretty much the only available variable that you have at a very early stage. So yeah, that was our value proposition from the very beginning. And how many times we have changed? We have a very particular case, which is we have different products. So we have different products with specific value propositions in different stages. So we haven't changed. What we see is different development of every product.
Okay, thank you. No, it's great, great. Talking about investment, Karel, this is for you. You also invest in early stage, in seed stage. And for you, how do you identify if a project, listen, how many startups are here today?
Good.
Okay, good for you. How do you identify if a project or a startup you want to invest in has achieved product market fit?
Tough question. I will say that I think, as I said before, the startup needs to have a plan and how you are executing that plan. It doesn't mean, at least for us, and I agree with you, for investors it's very, very hard to achieve when you don't have enough metrics and you are basically investing in what we'll say the entrepreneur. All investors say the same bullshit. We invest in entrepreneurs, and most of the cases you don't know what that means. So that could mean that a new term that is pre-product market fit, it's called founder market fit.
Right.
So it's the ability, the skills, the background, jobs that that person has done in the past, new projects, whatever it is, that could be applied to the product that they are developing. How that the knowledge that you have, the contacts that you have, how that applies to that. We analyze startups and then say they didn't launch yet. So one of the questions that I always ask the startup is, show me the list of your potential customers. Oh, here are. Is IBEX 35 plus some multinationals plus, I said, okay, great. Now show me how close you are to those people. Oh, I have here, I used to play paddle with him in the weekends. I have this one, he was my former boss and he wants to try out the technology. This one is my former colleague that moved to another company and asking me for the technology. So I need to know, I need to see how close the first customers are to where you actually are. Because I remember I have invested in 6 startups from a personal level, not from BackFund in 16. And the 6 startups, one of them went bankrupt. And the main reason was the long they take to close a meeting. I mean, because they didn't have the contact. They didn't have, it was a health startup. They didn't have the contacts and they didn't have like a close connection to develop the product, as Raul said, with the customers on real time. And that is something that we are analyzing a bit. How are you building the product? How close you are with your contact? How fast can you implement the feedback that you're getting from your potential customers and how you are iterating along the way?
Thank you. So if I understand correctly, you have to invest in the growth of your company and in sports, drinks, and the night to meet people. Okay. Jessica, in your case, for example, you have a specific service to companies. So at what point did you know you had found product market fit and what signals help you? You are in the search right now, but you already have some.
Yeah. So the first step is to check if you have the problem solution fit. So we saw that there was a problem in the market, in the construction sector, due to market trends and legislation, so sustainability was becoming a must. And we saw that Biocomatter solve this problem. It absorbs CO2, it offers technological advantages, it has lower manufacturing costs because it's made of waste. And so it was pretty clear to us that we proposed a valid solution to an existing problem. The next step was finding a client that was willing to pay to solve his problem. And this is where we found some delays and we had to kind of adjust our strategy because we noticed that the way we focused our value proposition didn't actually reflect that the value that the product provided. So we had to take a step back and adjust our value proposition and adjust our targeted market, also kind of change the message that we were giving to improve the communication that we were doing. So this was a fundamental step. In the meantime, we also won a prize from the construction tech startup in Reveal, so it was...
Applause.
It was a good feedback, a positive feedback from the market, and it's also the moment where we started receiving this feedback from the manufacturers that were interested in the product. They wanted to try it out, and right now we have the first testers and users in the market, so we're really proud of it. So it was kind of, this was the signal. I mean, the positive feedback, the interest, and also it was fundamental to learn from the market and adjust the strategy as we were going.
Thank you. Thank you. Raul, at Kyoto, you target a product for a very specific client. You did say it at the beginning, but how did you know the market needed your product at the beginning, and how long did it take you to find that product market fit?
Right. So actually, I'm not 100% sure I have the right answer yet. We're working on it. But to the first part of the question, we all know that probably it depends on the statistics, but 9 out of 10 startups fail within 5 years, or 7 out of 10, whatever the percentage is, really hard. So that was, for me, pretty obvious. If the goal was just to build a product to satisfy a specific customer, then I would have had more doubts. But my goal was to make the process more efficient, to try to improve the allocation of resources. So that was very obvious to me. It's really hard to do better, to do worse. I mean, you're failing 9 times out of 10, so you need to improve, right? There is a lot of way.
Whatever you do is going to be better.
And actually, it is true. I mean, sometimes you say, but okay, so you make an algorithm to predict success, for example, but is it going to predict it right most of the time? I said, well, as long as it predicts it 11% of the time, is already, we are in 90%. No, I'm joking, okay? But so the fundamental issue was very obvious to me. Then, about the specific customers, as you said, most of our customers are using some other tools. So it was not a problem of how they make better decisions, or do they want to make a data-driven approach or not. It was more about, okay, now you're using a whole set of fragmented tools that makes your project very inefficient. You have to dedicate a lot of time to data processing, to data collection, reporting. So for me, that was really obvious at different levels. I'm sorry, Lena, I forgot about the second part.
No. Do you have, for example, an idea on how long, for example, you've been analyzing this data?
Well, the thing is, I've been doing my own research before Kyoto. So this comes from my academic research. So I've been doing this for like 7 years now. 7 years. So I have a lot of evidence, like both academic. I've been as an investor before. I've worked in other startups. So I've seen this. And funny enough, the last couple of years is getting a lot of traction, a lot of attention. So yeah, I was working on this at a more, let's say, theoretical level for 7 years, and then the last couple of years is more investors want to put this into practice.
Yeah, so funded product market fit is not something you can do one morning, wake up one morning and finding out your product market fit. It takes time.
And actually, yeah, because a lot of the most famous startups startups, it took them, especially if they're in B2B, like 2, 3, 4 years to find product market fit. So it's also about being patient. It's about finding things to do with your project, with your product that get you money, get you income, until you get product market fit, maybe in the third year or something.
Thank you. I think we are okay on time. So I would like to ask you some advice, for example, for entrepreneurs to find this product market fit. They have to go somewhere. They have to meet someone specific.
Okay. Yeah, a couple of comments on that regard. Product market fit could be kind of a term, but as you said, no one is going to say to you, congrats, you have reached product market fit. That doesn't happen. You don't wake up one morning and you look at the data and say, oh, look, here is product market fit last week. So it's a process. It's a process when you look back, you said, oh, perhaps the beginning of last year, we started to get more attention from this type of customers. We developed several features adjusted to that type of customers. That rolls up. Marketing strategy works well, and so on and so on. Then looking back, you can say maybe this could be where we find some sort of product market fit. And also, As Raul said, you first attack kind of one niche customer, and then you move into a bigger one, or to a different one, or you expand to other countries or whatever it is. So you need to reach product market fit in different stages. So it's not that just I reached my product market fit and I said to my investors, congrats. It's just it's going to be a process until you reach the bigger TAM or the bigger market. And just a piece of advice. We have on Back Fund a valuation calculator, and we list like 50 items that can tell you how far or how early you are in your project and how close you could be to the product market fit. So my advice is for you to download the tool. Take a look, because it's a very comprehensive tool where I divided the product market fit and how to raise money in 5 different categories with a lot of different items that they can apply for their own projects.
Thank you. Jessica?
Well, as I said, leverage all the help that you can get. The connections are really important. And also, your strategy is kind of not set in stone. I mean, you have to study the market before, but also you have to keep learning from the market as you go. So if you have to take a step back and revalue your strategy, your proposition, just do it.
Thank you.
I would say a couple of things. First, for example, as Karel, as an investor, they have what it's called an investment thesis, right? They have a lot of, they invest in a specific geography or stage, sector, ticket, valuation, okay. But they also have that other term, invest pre or post product market fit. That one is the important one, really. The others, they are just their opinion about how they want to invest. Product market fit, it really changes your game. Yeah, I think so. And then the second thing is, it doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't happen overnight, as Elena said. But once you start feeling it, just be ready to the change in the abilities, the capacities, the team that you will need. The whole thing is different. It's not about validation. It's not about the first steps. It's about growing. So everything in your personal life, as a CEO, CTO, or your team, the whole abilities will be different. The need is different.
Thank you very much. We are run out of time, but please, a big applause for them. I hope in this little time we uncover 1 or 2 important keys to find the product market fit. And if you are eager for more, or you want to know more about our program, Impulsa Startups, we are be waiting for you at our stand 114 at the marketplace, and you can continue knowing a little bit more about finding your product market fit. Thank you very much.